Hi, this is Linda Helgeson with Sweet Aria Decor.
Now fall is here and it makes me happy. This is my peak crafting season. I have been doing some really fun things. Like this, for example. This is a pumpkin. We're going to decorate this little guy today. It's really easy. Anybody could do this. It's very, very simple. So I'm going to show you guys how to make this a black and white Harlequin pumpkin. So you'll see I had to do this step yesterday. This right here does not come on your standard pumpkin. This is spray crack filler. It's like spray insulation. What this does is acts like a craft foam so that when I stick my picks into this, it'll stay. So that's going to be really cool. I've done a couple already. I haven't done a black and white one yet, so we'll see. So this has cured for more than 24 hours. You want to make sure that it's not going to mush on the inside. Just because it's hard on the outside doesn't mean it's hard on the inside, so you have to wait. So what I am going to do to start off with is, because this doesn't look very nice, does it? If people can see through this, that looks kind of gross. So I am going to take some Spanish moss. I got this at Walmart. Let me zoom in a little bit. You guys can see more of what I'm actually working on. Nobody needs to see my ugly mug. Just what I'm working on. So, yeah, going a little bit more there. Smaller. I have fake nails, and I don't know how to do anything with these fake nails now. But they look pretty. They look pretty, right? Okay, so I am taking my hot glue gun, which I've already plugged in. It has stuff stuck all over it. And I'm going to apply some glue, and then I'm going to quickly apply some of this Spanish moss onto there. So, here we go. All right. I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, there we go. There's the X. Sorry. New camera, new angle. Okay, so I'm going to get this out before I start gluing it, because once I start gluing it, I need to move quickly. So I'm going to cut what I don't need. I'm going to kind of fluff it out so that I can break it apart into little groups. I'm not going to glue this on all at once. I'm just going to go a little bit at a time. Be aware this stuff makes one heck of a mess, but that's okay. So we start off with little nudie pumpkin man, right? So I am going to start applying my hot glue, just kind of squeezing it all over the place. Kind of go around, I don't know, like a first third. I'm going to take the moss, and then I'm going to attach it onto the pumpkin. So I'm going to put it on there, and then I'm going to kind of hold it down. I don't want to squish it in too much, but I want to give it enough pressure where I make sure that it's actually adhering. And you'll see that it's actually adhering to me. This is why I probably should have put on my latex gloves. I mean, we all bought them for COVID, right? So why not use them for crafting? All right. I don't like how that looks. I'm going to add a little bit more here to cover a little bald patch in the front here. Okay, so I covered a bald patch. So you can see it's starting to be covered. I have some more to do over here, so I'm going to go kind of do this on the back a little bit. Give this guy a little bit of, here we go. Pushing it on, holding it in, and then anything left over, I just snip. I don't want to tug it because that could pull it off of the pumpkin, so I just kind of give him his room. We can clean him up a little bit afterwards. Right now we're just kind of applying overall large amount of moss, and then we can give him a little haircut, little snip later. Okay, I had to get another hot glue stick. I used the Gorilla Glue sticks. They work better than regular glue sticks, especially if you're going to have something outdoors or especially if it's warm. You don't want your hot glue to melt, and then anything that you used it on kind of like sags and falls off. And that's no bueno, especially if it's a product that you have made and sold to someone else. It does not make your business look too good if your stuff falls off. Okay, I got one more little spot to do over here. we're going to go right here. Here we go. All right. Apply that on there. It doesn't have to cover everything. It just has to be enough where the white from the foam is not super, super visible. Okay, so as you can see, got a little bit here. I'm going to give him a little trim. Okay, see that? Going around. Another little trim. Okay, and here you can see this is the top. We've got it glued pretty much all the way around. Oh wait, I found a naked spot. Found a bald spot. Pumpkin pattern baldness. There we go. Oh, my manicure is fried. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this is tragic. Okay, so then we have our pumpkin, and he looks all done. Can I just say, with this stuff on here, it looks like Mike Brady from the Bradys from like the 70s, right? When he had the curly perm. I'm making a bunch of little Mike Brady pumpkins. Okay. Anyway, so I am going to take all this other mess right now and try to put some of this back in the bag. The little pieces really are not salvageable, so I am going to try to push those to the side for now. Okay, so now we're ready to start actually putting the really cute things in our pumpkin. So I'm going to come back out here a little bit on the screen. A little bit more room. Okay. I have 3 picks that I have selected. I have 2 of these, and these are, I guess it's black mesh, kind of made into curls. These were from Michael's. They were $1.99 each, but you could probably get them for 40% off right now. They've got a pretty good sale going. So I have 2 of those. And then I love these. These are so cute. These are the little black and white pumpkins. So one has a Harlequin pattern, the other has a stripe, and the other one has dots. And this was $4.99, but then you can get it for 40% off. And this little pumpkin guy here, I can't remember how much he was, but I think he was maybe $12.99, but then 40% off. I'm not sure. But I do know that I have checked Joann and Hobby Lobby, and Michael's was the only one that had the black. And I did have to order it. They did not have it in stores. So if you like it, I would say go online right now and have those sent to you. Okay, so I'm trying to decide first. I have these picks, but maybe it might be best to do our bow first. We'll do our bow. So I'm going to put Mr. Pumpkin to the side over here. I'm going to show you the different types of ribbon. I have a lot of black and white ribbon, so I'm trying to pick things that I think will work. So we like the Harlequin. There's a dot. There's a stripe. We want to play off that a little bit. It doesn't have to absolutely mimic, but it would be nice if it actually coordinated well. So what I'm going to do is look through here. Now this is a nice ribbon. It has the stripe. It's got the fatter stripe, which kind of mimics this in the pumpkin here. So I think this might be one that I decide to use. Now this one is pretty cool too. This is a Harlequin pattern. Now this is a bit more of a lighter weight canvas, so I don't know how well this would bend. It does have wire edging. I don't know if you can see. It does have the wire edging on here, but it's not super strong with the wire edging. So I think I am going to try a little bit of that though. And then I have this other stripe, which is more of a vertical stripe. I don't think I'm going to go with that one. One thing I do have is this is Harlequin ribbon, and I love this. And if this pumpkin were larger, I could do it. But if you can see, this is a smaller pumpkin, and this is 4-inch mesh. I do not want to put a ginormous ribbon that is going to make 2 times the height of this pumpkin. So we're going to have to save that for another time. And then I think I do have some, I kind of like the idea of using this. It is, if you can see on there, there's some pumpkin stripes, there's some spider webs. I think we may use maybe a little bit of that. I don't think we are. I don't think we are because I don't want the bow to get too large. And maybe actually we'll only use a stripe and a harlequin. I think that's what we're going to do. Sorry, you have to listen to my thought process here. I don't want to create a massively large ribbon because this, again, is just a small pumpkin. It's probably no more than, 9 or 10 inches high once the foam is on it. So we're going to be using the stripe, and we're going to be using this harlequin. I'm going to make my bow, and I will show you quickly how I do that. So, and I will be using a stemming machine to attach that, and I will show you that in a little bit. But for right now, I have, this is, clear it off here. This is the Easy Bow Maker. I started out using Pro Bow the hand, and it was helpful, but it makes very large, evenly looped ribbons, and they're great if I'm making something for the top of a Christmas tree. But lately, I've been getting into more of like the, freehand or using multiple types of ribbon, multiple patterns, and this becomes a lot easier. So what I do is take a white pipe cleaner. I'm going to put it between the two pegs here. And then I just kind of make it go vertical to it. So I've got one in front of it, one behind. Okay. That is what we are going to use to twist and tie the bow. And then we'll put a stem on there to be able to insert it into the top of the pumpkin. So I'm going to start with my widest ribbon. This is 2.5 inch. All right. I'm going to put that on the spool. It does help putting it on the spool. Holds it in place. And then I'm going to remove the pin. I've been pinning my ribbons lately. Otherwise, they go flopping all over the place. And nobody likes floppy ribbon. It makes it messy. So, again, this is a smaller sized pumpkin. This is not a huge pumpkin, right? So, we don't want it to be too large. So, I think I'm just going to have a little bit of it hang down. Maybe just a little tiny bit. So, it's going to have a very small ribbon tail. I'm going to make this tail go to 7 inches, but I can always cut it to be smaller. So I don't want this to be very, very large. So I am going to, I put this, let me show you what I'm doing. Take the ribbon, right? I put it in here, measure to 7. But then here I have to twist it. I have to twist it like this, right? So the pattern's on this side, twist it, and then the pattern's on the back. The tighter that you can twist, I think the better your ribbon ends up looking. So the twist is important. Come on, baby, let's do the twist. Okay, so then I will loop the ribbon over, bring it in here, and then I kind of keep it vertical until I measure how big of a ribbon I want. I think we might put this one at maybe like I would say a 4.5 inch, and then I twist it. So you see I measured out to 4.5, I brought it back over, put it back through the peg, and now I've twisted it again. So you can see that this now makes, this is the first loop. Pretty cool. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Measure out the width to 4.5 inches. Okay, that's it. That's good. And I'm going to do a nice tight twist again. Some people do this by hand, where they can do all these twists and they just hold it in their hand. I'm not quite there yet. I'm also like really clumsy, so that doesn't really work so hot for me because I'm not super coordinated. Plus my hands hurt sometimes. All right, so I've got 4 loops going now at the 4.5 size. Actually, no, this is more of a 4, so let me pull this in. I want to make this side a little smaller. It's important to make sure that you do have the correct sizes on both sides. You don't want your bow to be lopsided. We don't want a little flopsy-lopsy, because then it won't look centered, and then something will, you'll never quite know exactly what it is, but something will feel off kilter. So, all right, so I'm going to pull that tail around to the front. That there. And then I'm going to do, let's take a look what that would look like. Do I need another row? I might, no, I'm not going to do another row. I think that's going to be enough. Okay, so then I bring this out. It was about to 7 inches on the other side. That would be here. I'm going to cut it. Okay, now what I do is I take the ribbon, I fold it in half. So you can see it's, maybe I can get smaller in there. It's folded in half, right? So I've got, that's the, I don't know, the bent side on the middle, and these are the ends, the wired ends on the outside. I'm going to make a V cut. I'm going to start from the inside, and I'm going to angle it downward toward the wires. Snip. It's like performing a little ribbon vasectomy. Only no one has to sit on a bag of peas when you're done. Okay, so we have the first layer down. You can see. Okay, now I'm going to leave this here, and I am going to bring in the 1.5 inch Harlequin ribbon, which I need to buy more of. This pattern is actually popular for Valentine's Day too. It does not have to be just for Halloween. I also have some Harlequin pattern stuff for Christmas. So I have, sometimes I dovetail it before I start. So I've dovetailed this one, as you can see already. There you go. All right, so I'm going to start this in here. Start it right there. So the other loops were done at like 4 inches. So these I'm going to bring in probably, I would say maybe like a 3. I want these loops to be able to stand up taller. I'm going to give them some height. Loop over around for another 3. All right, loop it again. I always like to do my last ribbon, usually the 1.5 inch, where I have enough that I can make a loop in the center. Because I just think it symmetrical, kind of, when you're looking at it from the top. I always like things to look like even all the way across, because I'm weird like that. It's like my OCD. That's okay. That's just part of the glorious freak that I am. All right. So right now I have 1, 2, 3 on that side. I have 1, 2, 3 on this side. So now I want to add another one for the middle. Might be slightly smaller than the other one. So the other ones were like 3 inches. I'm going to do this at like, maybe like a 2.5. Actually, you know what? I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going, guys. I'm going to add another 2.5 on this side. Hold me back. Linda's going crazy. She's looping it all over the place. Okay. And then now, because I want to make sure it has enough height on the top, but I didn't want to, oh, I hate when they do this. Okay, so this is called a splice. They've taken the ribbon, and instead of making one continuous piece, they glue it on top of each other. So us crafters freaking hate that. Like, don't do that, man. Don't, if you manufacture this stuff, stop doing that crap. We're halfway through making a beautiful bow, or making what we think we need to make, and that seam always shows up in the absolute worst possible space. All right. Maybe that's nature's way of saying, no, Linda, your tails are large enough. Okay. Well, I guess we're going to call it a day with that then. That should do it. Okay, so we've got all of our ribbons done. Got all my loops. So I'm going to take the back end of the pipe cleaner, the other front of the pipe cleaner, kind of bring them together, kind of make them meet a little bit, do a slight little turn, just so it's enough where I can pull this up. Oh, look! It's free. I'm free. Let me go back to the size now. I'm free. So I'm going to hold the ribbon. I'm going to twist that pipe cleaner around to the back, because I don't want to twist it in the front, right? We don't want anyone seeing that. So then I'm going to make it tight in the back. And then I'm just going to start turning and rotating it till it starts feeling real tight. The tighter you can get this part, then kind of the poofier the ribbons will stand up. So here's what our ribbon looks like. I'm going to put that. We have two of those, little loopy there, little loopy there, kind of fluffing it. I'll show you guys in a second what it looks like from the top. Take it from the top. Okay. So if I have two tails sticking out there that I'm going to trim, I want to make sure the other tails kind of go the opposite way. So I'm going to stick that other tail in here. You don't want two tails on top of each other. You want to kind of spread it out. It's easier to see that when you have a larger bow that has more loops. But, okay, so this is going to be our bow. I'm going to move my ribbon now. Pardonnez-moi as I step off camera. Okay, so this is the bow. This is the back of the bow. You can see the stem sticking out here, the white. And then we've got a cute little pumpkin. So let's take a look at the size. That looks pretty good. That does look pretty good, right? But if you can, I'll zoom in, you can see, if I put it on here, you can still kind of see some of this stuff going around. Now some people sometimes will carve out the top of the pumpkin and then put the foam in. If it's not a craft pumpkin, I don't like to do that. I'm lazy. Plus I like, if you put it on top of here, it gives it more height. So I'm like, what am I going to do with that stuff? Well, mesh. I am going to make some mesh ruffles and then we're going to stick these in here. So I think maybe 2 or 3 will work. So I'm going to put, oops, I'm just going to pull and cut this out. I don't want to make them too large, so I'm going to do that one. So then I take my ends, I kind of like roll them inward like you're making little mini sausages, right? Once you get a good roll in, then I walk it up the center. So as you can see, I'm walking it up, walking it up. What you want to do is kind of create a ruffle, and it's going to look like a bow tie. Then I'm going to take a pipe cleaner. I just need a little bit on there in terms of how much I'm going to use. So alrighty. Then I'm going to twist that nice and tight. Okay, see? So it makes a nice little ruffle. And then I'm going to snip it here, because I am going to end up putting this in my stemming machine in just a moment. So let me make 2 more of those really quickly. Rolling, rolling, rolling mesh ruffles. All right. There's another one. I only have 1 pipe cleaner, so I'm trying to be very sparing in how much I use on this. But when I put this in the stemming machine, I mean, it only takes in, I'd say maybe like a 1/2 to 3/4 inch of material to attach onto anyway. So I don't like to waste anything if I can avoid it. Okay, so there's second Mr. Ruffle Pants, and now we're going to go for a third. This one I might make kind of smaller, because this is going to be, I think, the one for the front of the pumpkin, and I don't want it to have too much volume. Otherwise, it will end up pushing the bow upward instead of kind of, you know, laying flatter in the arrangement, and that would look a little bit freaky weird. There we go. A little bit early in the morning to tie one on, but yeah, we're doing it. All right, let's see how well that goes. So I have 3 ruffles. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put stems on those, and I'm going to put stems also on the ribbon. So I'm going to need to cut this pipe cleaner. So I'm going to go put that right there. All right, cool. I'm going to bring out my stemming machine. This is really freaking heavy. Thud. because everything shakes. So this is called a stemming machine. This has metal picks. What you do is there's a weight. It pushes down on the picks. And then you can take the little end that's sticking out and you'll kind of put it in here. So I'll show you. So you pull the handle forward and it has brought out a pick. I don't know if you can see that, but it's brought a pick out. So it's laying there. What I want to do is put this in right here, flush, and make sure that whatever material that I'm attaching the stem to is laying flush. Okay, it's very important. It's got to lay flush. Otherwise, the machine is going to clamp that little spike thing around it, but it won't get everything, and then it will be loose and it won't stay in your arrangement as well. So I'm going to push down. Nope. Get in there. Oh, I forgot to keep twisting it. Sorry. There we go. Okay, I am going to push down on the handle. Okay, it has clamped the metal around that, and then I just pull straight out. And as you can see, check it out, it has put a very vicious and dangerous looking spike on the end of this, which is fantastic. The pumpkin may not appreciate it, but we will. Okay, I'm going to quickly do some stems on these remaining ruffles. Do you guys remember back in the day, the Ruffles commercials? Those ruffles have ridges. I can't roll my R's, so I can't do it very appropriately, but every time I do this with the ruffles, that's what I think of. And then I think potato chips, and then I think, crap, I'm hungry, and it's getting to be like lunchtime. And I don't know what to eat now that my kid's back in school. Like, I can have an adult lunch. Like, what do I want to eat? Half the time I just kind of forget and I don't eat. Not today, my friends. Not today. I am a hungry beast. All right. I've got that in there. I just want to always be careful not to get your fingers caught in there. That will hurt. Okay. Push down, make my stem. Okay, so I now have all my ruffles are stemmed. My bow is stemmed. Now we get to have the fun, kiddos. Thanks for hanging in there with me this long. All right. So, first thing I'm going to do is find which is my smallest one. That was this one. I like to apply some hot glue onto the actual metal of the stem before I push it in. You can push it in and sometimes they'll stay, but I really like to make sure that that ain't going nowheres. Okay, I'm going to probably use right here. I'm going to just push it in to the bottom. I got to give it a good push. But once that's in there, it feels in there. Okay, now I'm going to go around and do the same thing again on the other sides. Got my glue, attaching the glue. Alrighty. And this is kind of a fun thing that you can do with your kids too, because if you decorate a pumpkin like this, it might take a little longer. You might have a bit more supplies. However, you'll have this year after year. It does not go bad. All right, and then the last little bunch there. I'm going to do this last bit of glue. And this little baby's going to go right in here. And I try to push it in as far as I can. Make sure it's in there nice. Just in case something comes along and tugs it or kids tug it. You want to make sure that it's not gonna, ain't going nowhere. Ain't gonna go nowheres. Okay. I'm gonna push that down a little bit. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Kind of going all around. You can see this is, you know, the outside of it. It'll look better once we get the ribbon on there because he's got that ball patch in the middle. It's got like that little, again, the male pattern baldness. Okay. I think the next thing I want to try to put on is the bow, and then we'll put the picks next to it. I like to put the bow and then kind of see where the picks tell me they want to go based on what the bow looks like, where the gaps are, how long it is, where things are hanging down. It's an easier way to play with it than before I get it on there. So I am going to add glue onto my pick. I got to be very careful. You don't want to get the hot glue on your ribbon. If by some chance you accidentally do not wipe it off until the glue has dried, because hot glue is easier to remove once it's solid as opposed to when it's like not. All right. I had to move it a little bit. I was trying to push it in the center, but I was hitting the stem of the pumpkin. That's no good. So I'm going to make sure I add a little bit more glue down at the base where I had inserted it, just to make sure it gives it an extra little tuggins there. Okay. All right, and I'm going to try to arrange the bow. Okay, I got one coming out this way, one coming out that way. All right, I'm liking how this is looking. It's looking cute. But you know what? I think I'm going to add a little bit more ruffly guys kind of coming down. So I'm going to take, I don't have another. I need another pipe cleaner. I need a white pipe cleaner. The horrors. Okay, hold the phone. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Alrighty. I'm back. Okay, sorry. I had to end up getting a black one. I am going to make with the ruffles. Oh, Gigi, stop barking. She's just jealous. She wants to be on camera, and I'm all like, no, not today, girl. Today is not your day. All right. I want to make some little curlies, like some tendrils that are going to come down. So let me do that really quick. And actually, I probably just need to cut that there. I'm going to cut some more there. I'm going to fold it in half. Fold it in half. Okay. Then I'm going to take my pipe cleaner. I'm going to tie it around here. Do my little twist again. I'm going to twist the ends all the way around here, because then when I put it into the stemming machine, it won't, it'll stay together and they won't separate, and that'll make it stronger. Stronger like Britney Spears. Free Britney! That poor girl. All right. Now I'm going through. Which way do I go with it? I can't tell. You know, that's the hard part of wearing like bifocals. I can't freaking see sometimes. I got to put it up to my face. I'm trying to get used to that. All right. That looks good enough. I'm going to turn around real quick. I'm going to use my stemming machine. And then we can get these placed into the pumpkin. 1 and 2. Hey. You get to pick my nose. Sorry. And no, I don't want to do that. I'm going to take these. I'm going to wrap them around my finger, because what I want to do is kind of make like little curls. They can kind of hang down. So I did that one. I'm going to go back in again. Let's curl it around. Oops, just one finger, not two, Linda. Curl it around that finger. Oh my gosh. It's always when people are watching you that you just kind of like, coordination just completely falls apart. Performance anxiety. Okay, I'm going to do the same with the other one. Wrap in. You spin me right round, baby, right round. Alrighty. Because you got to remember, when you're making an arrangement, you want to make sure it has a feel like around the back too. Because depending on where you put this, you could end up putting this on a table where someone could sit and then see the back side of it. And you know, you don't want to be all like party in the front and like naked in the back. That's happened before to me. I'm not going to talk about what exactly happened, but it's not a fun experience. Okay, here we go. I've got this little curly Q pick now. I am going to glue this probably into, I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to stick this pick, but not where those are. I think I'm going to see, I see like there's a little naked spot there, so I'm going to do one there. Okay. Actually, I think I'm going to put that one there. All right, I'm going to push it in. Add a little bit, dab more glue just to make sure that that stays put. Okay. And then you take the bottom of the curl, where you can find the end. You just pull it down a little bit. And look, it comes down looking like a cute little curly. And it adds a little bit more depth and dimension, and it helps to cover some naked spots. So where am I going to stick the other one? Probably right in there. All right, that'll work. If your stemming machine does not work well, or if you wrap it around like a stick to put it in there and it doesn't stay well, then you can use the hot glue to make sure that it stays stuck to your stick. Stuck to your stick. Sounds kind of funny. Okay, so then we have these other little curlies right here. All right. So now look at what we've got here. So far, so good. I mean, this is cute. We could always just kind of like stop right here, right? We could stop just like this. But we won't because we're extra. All right, so now it is time for the stems. I do recommend having wire cutters because some of these stems, like, you know, the pumpkin is hard because this is not one of those foam craft ones. You only have about maybe like 1.5 inches of foam. That's a lot of stick, so you can't stick all that stick in there. So we're gonna have to cut these down a little bit. So I like to figure out where I'm gonna put it first, and then I'll cut it down. So I'm gonna remove my tags just because I'm OCD. You probably won't see them, but I don't like to leave tags on things. All right, so we have these cute little pumpkins. I think, let me see what they look like. I think I'm going to put them here maybe. I thought about kind of going downward, but I want to bring some height to this. I want to go up on this one. So what I think I'm going to do is give this a little snippy, like right there. And this is on wire, so this is bendable. So I know I'm going to want height on it, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of bend it up right now anyway, just so that I can stick it here and realize that, yeah, that is actually where I want it. I'm not sure I like where that is laying. I think I might actually move this ribbon tail. Oh, no, he's the top one, so he ain't going to go too far. I got to go that way. Got to go that way. Okay, cool. I didn't want both of the tails to be coming down on the same side. So I think I'm going to put this guy right here. All right, so I'm going to kind of just do a little initial puncture to see where I'm going to take this thing. So I'm going to push it in a little bit, which is the best way to come in. Now, this is not as blunt now because I had poked off the end. So I'm going to have to really figure out, it's going to be a little bit of a process to figure out where to put this in. So I'm going to put the hot glue on the stem. I'm going to be very careful not to accidentally get the glue on the ribbon. Then I'm going to hold the pumpkin and I'm going to push. That's like a workout. That's like a workout right there. All right. So then I'm going to take my ribbons that are in there. I'm going to kind of mix it in with there so it fills in the negative space there between the pumpkins. but it's also going to make sure to kind of leave enough space where you can still see the pumpkins. You don't want your ribbons to bury all the cute stuff you've got. So far, we have that. Okay. All right, and then we got that little bow we're going to stick in there, and that will look good from behind. Okay, so we're doing good. Now we have these two. So we're almost done, guys. We just have these two little picks to stick in there. Again, I'm going to trim it. For right now, I'm going to trim just about 3 inches off. Figure out where I want to take it. I was thinking maybe kind of little coming down off the bottoms. So I think that would be a good spot. So I'm going to put the glue on the pick. And then I'm going to feed it through. And then stab it in. This one's not going. Why aren't you going, buddy? Why aren't you going? Oh, and I got the glue on the ribbon. I got the glue on the ribbon. Oh, Lordies. Oh, Lordies. Oh, Lordies. What do I do? What do I do? I'm trying to stick it in a little bit more, then I'll show you where it's at. Sometimes when you're sticking stuff in, you might inadvertently hit other things that are already stuck in there. Or you could hit the center of the pumpkin, which is, I think, what I did. Okay, so he's in there. He's in there pretty darn good, I think. You can see he's kind of adds a little height, so he's kind of down there. I don't know if you can see it really well. I'll show you when we're done in a minute. There it is. See, there it is. Alrighty. Alright, so I think now we're going to have to put the other one in a similar position. So I will do that. I'm going to glue it and then I'll flip it around so you can see where I'm sticking it in. Alright. I'm going to stick it in probably right over on this side. Oh, and there it goes. Well, that went in pretty darn easy. Easier than that one. You know what? Oh no, it came out. Ah, come back, come back. Okay, so this came out of here. Sometimes they're not adhered that well with the paper stem, so I'm going to slide it back in. Easily fixable. Phone call from someone in Maryland. I don't know anyone in Maryland, but thank you very much. And of course I'm out of glue. I'm going to grab another glue stick. Throw it in there. Alright, let's let that set up for a moment. I'm going to straighten this back out. That's the nice thing about working with this foam is if you put it in there and you're not happy with where you've put it, or it's not quite right, you can play around with it. Sometimes you can pull it back out. You might take some of the foam with you. If you do, all you have to do is pull the foam off, pull the glue off, and it's kind of like starting fresh. So all these materials are pretty darn forgiving, which is fantastic if you're me, and sometimes you don't know what you're doing. Obviously. All right. Put that in there. See, let's go. Let's try to poke it in through this way now. Oh, that's much better. Much better. That sticks better. It's happy in there. So, as you can see, clear it off here, give her some space, move my phone. We now have a really cute black and white pumpkin. It's got some hot glue snot sticking on it. There we go. So we have right there, it's got the black And it comes around to the front. You see you got the ribbons there. It's got some more of these black things. And then at the top, you've got your cute little pumpkins. So it looks really, really cute. Set it on your table. Most of the products in here, you know, if a kid got a hold of it, pull it out, whatever, it's not going to shatter. There's nothing breakable, you know, so I know with little ones, you've got to be careful. Or like if you're around me, because I'm clumsy, you got to be careful. But that's pretty much it. I would say, how much did this cost to make? So if we estimate, maybe the pumpkin was, we'll say it was $10. And then the picks were 2, 2, and 5, which makes $9. But then they were 40% off, so we're gonna call it like $5. And then a little bit of the mesh. Like I have a whole bunch of mesh I always reuse, so I'm just gonna count how much I would have used off of it. That would have been like maybe, I don't know, maybe $2 worth of mesh total. So 2, 6, 8, 18, and then maybe, you know, $3 worth of ribbon. So for about less than 20 bucks, give or take, you can make a cute little centerpiece. It's fun to do with the kids, and best thing is, I got a pumpkin that I don't have to carve. It's not going to sit on my front stoop and rot. It's going to just sit on my table and look cute, and I'll put it away the day after Halloween, bring it out again next year, and it's already done. It's all about having cute decor that's easy to maintain, right? Because we're all busy, but we like cute things. All right, so thank you so much for watching today. I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel on YouTube, I've got one out there under Sweet Aria Decor. I also am on there on Instagram, Sweet Aria Decor, as well as TikTok. So, yeah, TikTok, don't stop. All right, have a great day, everybody, and thanks for watching.